Welcome back to the show. Now, in a significant development aimed at, bolstering national security and also, regulatory control, the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology has set a firm deadline of December 31, 2023 for SIM card registration. Executive Director Adrian Mate announced that there will be no extension and unregistered SIM cards face deactivation for 3 months. Okay, that is also very clear because it has been extended numerous times. Telecom Namibia is in the house this morning addressing challenges and implementing, measures for efficient registration. So we have this morning the Chief Executive Officer of Telecom Namibia, that is Dr. Stanley Shanapinda, in studio with us. A very good morning, Doctor. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. I'm so happy you're not, you're serving your people. You're here this morning. You're not on holiday yet.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, everything well?
It's going well, except we've got a few things to round up before we end the year.
Yeah, of course. And speaking of, rounding things up, we have now just heard, SIM registration deadline is without extension again, the 31st of December. And we've seen people are now flocking, to your teleshops and to, the other shops and so on. But I specifically want to speak about the people in other areas where, they don't have direct access to a teleshop. How would you say is Telecom Namibia addressing this at this very moment?
We've done two things in the recent days. The first one is we've mobilized our mobile team. So we're going to be moving around areas in Karatura and the rural areas to register our mobile, to use those mobile means to register those customers. So we're going to come closer to the customers, try and make it a lot more convenient and easy for them. The second thing we did is that we've mobilized a number of students. We've advertised on Friday to ask students if they need a holiday gig to apply. They have until today. And we're going to ask if where you are holidaying or where you're staying, if you've gone back home in that particular area, if you're keen to be part of the team for the remaining period, that we will then onboard you to be our agent to register SIM cards in those particular areas. Yes.
That's fantastic. Also creating jobs there for the youth. Yeah, fantastic. Good stuff. Now, we say that you have registered about 45%, of the subscribers, Furthermore, what would you say is the strategy for Telecom Namibia to have the other percentage registered by the 31%? And do you see it happening?
That's our major focus, to get the majority of those that are not registered registered as well. And we've seen the numbers picking up. So in the past week, we've seen a major number, around 52,000 that registered in that week, which has been quite a major achievement since the registration process has started. So I think people are a lot more willing, and it is a lot more convenient and easy for them to register. And so along with the two strategies we've just spoken about, we are going to go out, and we have also announced on radio. So we've made a few radio announcements to tell people to come out in big numbers. We've also seen, and we're very happy to see, that the banks have also started making some announcements to indicate and ask people to come to their operators and register their numbers as well. But you must remember, we've had various competitions. We've had people win quite bikes. We've had people win goodies in order to come and register, and the numbers were just not picking up. And so and today we're speaking to you to really urge our customers to come out in big numbers and not get their numbers deactivated come the 1st of January.
Speaking of which, having your number deactivated for 3 months, Denver and I were just speaking earlier. We were like, so what happens if you still don't respond after the 3 months, the period that you've been cut off, that you just keep it off? How does this work, Doctor?
So what CRAN is saying is that for 3 months, the card is going to be deactivated.
Correct.
Within those 3 months, you still have a grace period to come back and register it so that you can keep your number. Because one of the rules is that an active SIM card is only an active SIM card if it's used at least once every 3 months. If it's not used within that 3-month period, if we've deactivated it, you've not come to register it, and we can't activate it, then that means that you're no longer a subscriber. So that means that that number can now be transferred from you to Denver, for example. And Denver can be given get that number. That's what that means. And we want people, because their numbers are their identity. Do you know what I mean? And so we want people to keep those numbers. So come out, don't lose your identity, and keep your number.
Doc, while you're here, just, for the Namibians watching and still dragging feet, there's some in the studio here. I'm not going to mention names.
I have registration forms on me electronically, and I can give it to them.
Please take us through the process, of electronically registering for this. Also, what people must bring with them, just in case, mindsets and where we're at sometimes. It's not that complicated. But what do we need to bring when we register, even whether it's in person or online?
Okay, so we, unfortunately, Telecom Namibia is not doing online registration. So we're still doing the physical registration process, which we think reaches out to the majority of our customer base. They don't have smartphones, they don't have laptops, for example. You've got to sign, you have you need a PDF form, for example, that you may need, or the application process. So, and you need data to be able to do that as well. So we're not doing that quite well, quite now. What we're doing is we've got an application form. If you contact us on our customer care number or on WhatsApp or social media, we're able to send that form to you electronically. You can download and you can print it, and then you can sign, complete the form. So you can either complete your own form if you're an adult, or if you have kids, you can complete the form on behalf of your kids as a guardian. You can also complete form on behalf of your household. And what you do is you complete one form for every SIM card. What every form needs to be accompanied by is the ID. If it's your ID, if it's your number, and your proof of residence. We've done away with the sworn declarations from the police.
Why so?
And it's not a legal requirement. So what you're doing is that you're declaring that the information that you're giving us is actually accurate. And that if we find that it is not accurate, you would be running foul of making a false declaration. So now we're pushing the burden directly and solely on you, that when you sign the form and you submit it, you're actually confirming that you've attached your number. This is your number. You're not registering someone else's number on your name. So that's the key thing. You must be, if you register the SIM card, you must register it in the name of the person that's using that particular number, because that's important for traceability afterwards. So if you register the number that I use in your name, you're the one that's going to be held accountable for anything that happens with that particular number.
For sure. Great stuff. Now, looking forward, or going forward, after we see the successful completion of the SIM registration process, how do you think this impacts the telecommunication landscape in the country, and also what does it mean for the people that registered their SIM cards?
It's a sense of security. So I come from the cybersecurity background, and this is one of the areas that that I studied in. And one of the key reasons for this is cybersecurity. So our customers must be well assured to know that what we're doing here is for their own protection. So it's their own security. If the number is then late, if your phone gets stolen, and we know that happens a lot. It's happened to me as well. And what we've seen that has happened is that people use your identity pretending to be yourself, to fool and scam other people. So what we've seen is that people then go into your phone and they get more than just your number, because you've got your emails on there, you've got your app on there. And one of the things that they've done is that they've emailed some of my colleagues asking them to make payments to a Hong Kong-based account. So they had to write back to me and ask, but is this really you? Are you giving this instruction? And so if you're at a certain level of authority, for example, you need to be very wary about things like that. So you can then go back and say, I've lost my SIM card, it's not with me anymore. And the people who now have it, so they can now trace that phone back to where it's being used. So it's sense of security for yourself and for your own protection, to protect you from scams and to protect others around you as well, because we know that that's been on the increase. I mean, the things such as what we've heard with e-wallets, with F&B, the OTP pins and things like that, that's happening. It can all directly be traced back to your number, and so you want to ensure that you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your finances, particularly in a period such as this during December, when it's festive and anything can go wrong.
Anything can go wrong. Doc, speaking now to the people that, on a final note, perhaps, for the people that haven't registered, what would you want to leave us with here this morning? What do you want to say to them? I
want to plead and beg to our customers and everyone, even MTC customers, please take the time to go and register. Cut out that time within your schedule to do the right thing. It is for your own protection. We unfortunately will have no choice. Come 1 minute past 1 midnight, while you're toasting in the new year, some of us will be working to deactivate numbers, and it's not going to be a good thing. You're going to lose your connectivity. You're not going to be able to call a Yango to go home, or your family and friends where you may be reigning in the new year. Come the 1st of January, it's a public holiday. We are going to be closed, so we're not going to be open to register you. We're only going to be able to resume on the 2nd of January, so you're going to be cut off for a whole day, unless you want that and you want that for yourself, which I don't think anyone wants. We really want to plead with everyone. We're trying to make this easy for you to come out in big numbers. We've extended our hours in the teleshops. You can go up to 8 o'clock to go in and register. So find a convenient time, go for your run, and run past the teleshop or after your dinner, and please register. If you don't have the number, the form with you, let us know on WhatsApp, social media. We'll be able to send it to you. You can print it out, you complete it, you come with a copy of your ID, and you hand it in, and you're good to go.
And we're good to go. Doc, thank you so much for being here this morning, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the couple of few days left, and going further. It was nice having you.
Thank you very much, and thanks to the whole team.
All right, there you have it. So Dr. Stanley Shanapinda here in studio with us. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Telecom Namibia, being very, very realistic also here this morning, reminding us of why we need to get our SIMs registered. Like you said, come 12 o'clock on the 31st of December, actually 1 minute past 12, and you have not done so, you're busy cheering, you'll not be able to call your Yango, you'll not be able to make a call. That is what it is. So please, Namibia, we beg you, we urge you to go out and get your SIMs registered. It is not, all you need is your ID and then proof of residence, as the good doctor said here this morning. And also, just by the way, if you are, somebody who is looking for a holiday gig, like you also said, get in touch with their office and see how you can, make a buck or two, and also just, get some experience here, there. But for more information, please do visit their website, do visit their social media pages as well, in case you missed out on this conversation. We will return after the very short break. Do stay with us.